We are thrilled to have two-time Oscar winner Cate Blanchett joining us. She's starring in the new FX series, Mrs. America. People are raving about this already, about the movement to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment, and she is joining us from England this morning. That's a lot. There are a lot of books behind you there. Good morning, Cate.
Oh,
it's wonderful to see you there.
My husband's a real history buff, so yeah, it's a bit of a collection.
I love that. I love that. Oh, my goodness. So how is it going? How's it going with the physical distancing, what we're doing all around the world? How's it in your household?
Oh, look, how are you going? How are any? I mean, I feel blessed that my family, my 4 kids are here, and touch wood, we're safe and well in the country. I mean, our default setting is social distancing. So, we're here with the pigs and the chickens.
Yeah.
How about you?
Your kid's 5? Oh, thank you for asking. We're in Connecticut and doing well in the home studio basement like this. But like you said, we are very fortunate. There are people that are a lot worse off at being at home.
Yeah.
So grateful for that. You're talking about your kids. Aren't they ages 5 to 18? So there's some homeschooling going on. How's that going?
I know. We have, look, I thought I was a patient human being, but a teacher I ain't. And I mean, Phyllis Schlafly, who I play, taught her kids to read in the phonics method. So I've been kind of going back to Phyllis's phonics method teaching. But I mean, I have such a profound respect for teachers. I think we all should, and I hope they get out of this thing, the virus. I hope that we all understand that teachers really do deserve a pay rise. But I said to my kids this morning, I said, I'm doing this interview, you've got to look after your sister, to my 15-year-old. And I said, tell your brother he's got to read today. And so I went upstairs quickly to put a bit of lipstick on. And there he was standing with a Nerf gun over him, forcing him to read. So, I mean, it's reading by Nerf gun in my house.
By any means necessary. But you talked about Phyllis. Okay. Mrs. America. I have to tell you, I was not familiar with her. I mean, I was familiar with the Equal Rights Amendment, and there were some that fought against it. But this woman who did that, and I understand that you were not that familiar with her as well. So how did you get in the mindset to play her?
Yes, no, I knew next to nothing about Phyllis, which I think is really telling. A lot of her political and social, whether you call them achievements or not, depending on where you sit, she's quite a polarizing figure. A lot of those, the credit was taken for, by men, which is, ironic. But she was, a staunchly conservative mother of 6 from Alton, Illinois, who was an astonishingly brilliant grassroots organizer and really did mobilize a whole army of women who would identify as being traditional women or homemakers who felt marginalized by feminism. And against all odds, she stalled the Equal Rights Amendment from being ratified into the Constitution. So she was quite a force of nature.
She really was. I mean, but I want people who haven't had a chance to see it yet to give them just a little sneak peek of what they can expect in Mrs. America. Here's a cut.
It may come as a surprise to you that today I am not going to talk about the Soviet military threat, but rather another threat. A threat to the traditional American family, a threat that is just as dangerous and even more insidious. The threat of the women's liberation movement.
Oh my goodness, when you even hear her voice and how she's talking, Cate, and I have to say this because we were given some of the episodes to watch, so I've seen a couple of them. The cast, the women that are in this series are remarkable. I know, and you're one of the executive producers, so how did everybody get on board with this?
I think everyone was really passionate about the terrain. There's only a reason to delve back into history, and this is relatively recent history, if it reveals something about the present. And I think, we were looking at how polarized America has become, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years. And we wanted to reverse engineer about how we got here and how, once again, women are feeling very separate from one another, and in the wake of, the hashtag Me Too, whatever you want to call it, women were coming together again. And I think that we wanted to come together as women and examine the equal and opposite movement to second wave feminism, which was the traditional women's movement, and to try and understand both sides of what were fears and concerns and challenges, and perhaps find some common ground there. Because in the end, you know, we're all women, you know, no matter what our beliefs are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So everyone was really passionate about that. And I mean, we've got Rose and Uzo and Margot Martindale and Tracy and Sarah Paulson. I mean, the cast is astonishing. Liz Banks. I mean,
it's really brilliant.
We're very lucky.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's well done. And like I said, it was a real history lesson for many of us. We thought that we knew what it was like that in the 70s, but it was very enlightening. It really was, and truly entertaining. Thank you so much. So take the Nerf gun away from your 15-year-old and get back at work. And we do have we do have the appreciation for teachers all around the world. But bless you, and thank you for sharing your talents with the world. Take care now.
Okay. Stay safe.
You're very welcome. Bye. You do the same. Mrs. America premieres today exclusively on FX on Hulu. It is really special. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.